so honored to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me, and I'm so impressed that there's so many people. Life is so busy, and there's so much noise everywhere, and it's so difficult to hear your heart and know what it's asking you to do. But when you start choosing clean food, these foods that are not gunking your system up, because really we're just clogging our intestines up with all this nastiness, and they just can't, it's like they're just trying to hold on to survive. They're like, ah! When you're doing that, your body, you don't have time to hear your heart speaking to you. What quality are you looking for? Do you want to feel spunky? Then have some blanched, or like a blanched dish with like very gently cooked greens will like brighten you up. If you need to relax, steaming them does that. And you want to have some, maybe you need to have some soup to soothe yourself. So it's really about choosing things that are more healing and nourishing. In the kind diet, I have dishes like kimpira stew and nishime, which are, I mean, everyone eats that in their diet. Once a week, every other week as best you can, because it's healing your organs and really relaxing them, which is important for that transition. I hope that answers your question.
More weight than any human had ever carried. Carried over 1,200 pounds. And he did all this on plant power, plant protein, plant nutrients. So this idea that we need to eat meat is really a myth. This idea that we need to drink cow's milk for calcium so we don't get osteoporosis is also a myth. In our country, we drink a lot of cow's milk and we get a lot of osteoporosis. So if drinking cow's milk prevented osteoporosis, things would be different than they are. But drinking cow's milk does not prevent osteoporosis. And when we look at these issues and start thinking about them,
than we do about getting a penny less on a piece of meat, when that's not even the truth. The truth is that the system that they have set up is far more costly for everyone. It's more costly out of their pocketbook. It's more costly out of their health. It's more costly from our tax dollar standpoint. It's causing the deficit to skyrocket. Indeed, I could make a case right here, but you probably all already agree, that most of our social ills boil down to our mistreatment of animals. You take a look at the deficit, and everybody's complaining about the deficit. Well, healthcare costs are skyrocketing. And one of the reasons is that America's #1 killer is heart disease. That's a fancy way of saying clogged arteries. Plants don't clog arteries. Cholesterol clogs arteries. There is no cholesterol in plants. What is killing America? The overconsumption of meat and dairy. And they try to sell you this bill of goods that this is all American, that this is traditional, that this is patriotism, that killing animals and torturing animals somehow makes you all American. What an insult to America! Is that what America's all about, torturing animals? Of course not. So what these advertisers do is they subliminally connect a burger that's dripping with blood to a sexy woman, to patriotism. And I'll tell you, I know a lot of actresses who are vegan who've come up to me and said, I don't know what to do, I have to pay my rent. But I've been offered this great commercial at XYZ fast food company, and I really don't know whether I can afford to turn it down. So they have people who've never eaten in fast food joints posing for commercials to say, if you eat at a fast food joint, this is how you're going to look. You're going to look like this hot model who's never even tasted a burger. That's the manipulation, that's the lie. We, as decent Americans, have to stand stand up individually and collectively and say, no, we are not buying these lies anymore. We want the truth, and we want compassion. Now, I want to back up a little bit and tell you a little bit about me, and in particular, my trip to Detroit. So I flew in here, and I thought we were going to be in Detroit. The sound is sort of off a little bit, so I would ask maybe the two of you to stand together. Could you stand together? Would that be possible? And then I will. You're going to be talking.
Each other because I'm.
Yes, of course. Okay, so hold on one second. I'm going to start. Right now. Okay, and guys, quiet on the set for 1 second. Thanks for this taping. Thanks. Go ahead.
Do you have questions for me, or?
No, I wanted you to talk about being a compassionate vegan, and I wanted to talk to you about being a compassionate vegan and also how that dovetails with signing and with your particular issues that are shared by many other Americans.
Certainly, yes. I started being a vegan 5 years ago. I celebrated my 5-year anniversary last Wednesday, and actually, I feel so good. I have so much more energy, and of course I support animals and animal rights, and also I have established a group on Facebook called ASL Vegans and Vegetarians United.
What does ASL stand for?
That means American Sign Language, and it's abbreviated ASL, American Sign Language. And it's open to anyone to join. Anyone can join that group. It doesn't matter if you're deaf or if you're hearing, anyone that knows sign language. If you happen to be a child who has deaf parents, that'd be great. If you have deaf siblings, whatever it is, anyone is welcome to join that uses sign language. I have over 1,600 members.
Wow! Woo!
Yes. One of the biggest problems is the videos. We're always searching for videos that have captioning. We can't find any, and it is frustrating for the group. So sometimes we find videos on YouTube and they're closed caption, but apparently it's voice-to-text technology, and it doesn't always come out accurate. Sometimes it's garbled and it's just not right, and so that is a struggle for our group. And sometimes on the news or whatever it is, you know, it's not closed caption, so it is frustrating for me and for the group. Also, I do have a special project to make a video of my own, and I have asked members if they wouldn't mind sharing their experience and why they support being vegans, and just share something very briefly with me to show pride that they are deaf and also a vegan. And I've asked them to hold up signs. So I went on vacation, I went to the islands, and I made a video, and I talked about the environment. I talked about the property there, the land, because, you know, with deforestation, where they're planting crops to feed the animals, that's destroying the environment. And also, I talked about the ocean and how they're dredging the ocean and getting rid of so many fish and many farm animals. They throw their waste in the ocean. And I talked about air pollution and fuel emissions. I talked about that, and how factories are polluting our environment. And I shared that video. And there's another deaf woman who talked about nutrition, and she made a presentation for a video. But the problem is she did not add closed captioning to her video. And she wanted me to add captioning, and I really struggled with it because I wanted to add captioning to my American Sign Language video, and it was very tough. But
So, final comment.
there's a deaf man from California who's very supportive of animal rights, and he's going to share his vlog, and he's joined our group, and we're going to combine 3 videos into one. And so I'm encouraging the deaf community to become vegans, and I'm educating everyone in the deaf community. And now for people that are not deaf, I'm encouraging them to have closed captioning on their videos so that the deaf community can learn from these videos and understand. And we would certainly appreciate that support for the deaf community. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. That is really wonderful, and you are a change maker. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.